can get it. Okay, good. So we're recording. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We'll keep it 20 minutes or less if possible. And then if you guys have questions at the end, we can go over that. So what I'm going to go over is just basically our system right now. And Lisa's team, Erin, you've talked to Lisa on the phone, and Marissa, you've obviously met Lisa. Her team is just, our team is absolutely going crazy. We're probably one of the most active teams in the cities right now. So we are taking the lead and just making sure that we're kind of setting the tone for where we're going. So if you're not already on there following what's going on the licensed region page, definitely make sure you do, because it's awesome. So I will get started. What we'll start with first is just what, how are we getting our handouts to people? So drop-offs, group events, what does that look like? A few of those things. So we'll start with the gold bag. And basically what we're doing as a team is we're just taking your clean gold bags. I've taken my business card here. You can literally print off a picture of yourself. And if you want me to, I can send you, I've got a little template that you could even print off and put on there. I just took a ribbon and put it on there and put a little note on the back that says, thank you for sampling this full-size RE9 set with the Genius pads. I look forward to meeting you in a few days and hearing your feedback. Please bring this whole kit with you to our next meeting. So the reason I put that on there is because if you guys have done this recently, you might get that person who's like, oh yeah, I just want to buy it from you. And you're like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but that's not really how this works. Or they're like, oh, I didn't know I had to give it back to you. Yes, yeah. No, you do need to keep this set. This is my employee, and while I don't pay them benefits or anything, this is my employee, and I kind of need it back. So that's the gold bag. What goes in it is obviously the cleanser, the toner, the serum, eye cream, day cream, and then the night cream. So basically what you can do is either on the Arbonne Boutique, or in the business aids. I think it's in the Arbonne Boutique though. So you'd have to go onto the Arbonne website, go to the boutique part of it, which actually takes you to a separate website. You can get these little stickers on there. It says step 1, step 2, step 3, all the way up to step 5, day and night. Or you guys, don't let that hold you back. Take a stinking permanent marker and write on it. Step 1, step 2, and just get it rolling, get it out there. So I'll put this whole thing in here. I've got the whole set. The only thing you're going to want to keep in mind is that these night creams, Marissa, can you see okay? The night cream, what I would do is if you have a travel kit, if you got a travel kit with your success pack, I would take the night cream from there and put it in one of your other night creams if you have space. And then I would use, this is just one of the empty travel. You'll see I've got some in there already. It's one of the empty ones. I washed it out really good, sanitized it. It's all clean and ready to go. And I just put enough for a 3-day sample in there, and then I put it inside of an empty one of these. So again, you might have to do some transferring. Just find another, it's better to have a closed jar for this or a dark one. Does that make sense? Because if it starts hitting light with our botanically based products, it starts doing things we don't want it to do. But you'll just put those in there so that they're not contaminating your entire night cream. We don't want that. And we put that in there instead of the full thing. Okay. The last thing we're putting in there, there's a couple things, is if you have an empty Genius container, I'm just taking the empty Genius containers because I know I have one of them, and I'm putting 3 pads in there so that it's showing them, one, what the full size looks like. It's also protecting the pads. Let's say if they don't get to them for a day or 2. I'll put that in there. The next thing that goes in there, and this was all in the email, is one of the success stories. These are the ones, I just saved them from my shipment boxes. I put them right in there. I put both of them in there, but if you're like, okay, I only have a few of these, take the one on the inside as the RVP, the one on the outside is the NVP. Take them apart. You can do it however you want. And if you don't have any at all, go online and search under the source. So go to arbonne.com, go up to resources when you log in, and go to the source, and you'll find search success stories. There's a bunch of them in there that you can just print off. So you'll put that in there. You will put in that email, there was the Genius usage card, and all I did was print it back to back, and I printed it upside down, and right now I don't even care. I'm usually a perfectionist about stuff like that, but I'm like, okay, this is going out tomorrow, so I have to have this ready. And that just talks through the steps, and it tells you about the Genius, and then of course on the back it talks more in depth about the benefits of the Genius product. So that's an awesome one. That's one that if you can laminate it, or if you can like use packing tape to make it like last longer, that'll save on some costs as well. The other one we're putting in with that, so there's basically 4 papers we'll put in with this, is the newest is Arbonne For You. So I think we used to have the green one. Don't worry about that one. The one I sent out in that email is the one our team is using. It's really pretty, and it's back to back, and it explains things a little bit more in depth, like the network marketing piece. It's a very clear slide for people to see. So we put that in there back to back. And then the last one, if you're doing nutrition, you might be doing a 2-step process. It's kind of up to you, but what we've been doing is putting the Arbonne Essentials page in there, and that was also in that email. I just print it back to back. It's got all of our nutrition products in there. I put it in there, and then I will ask the person ahead of time when I'm going to do the drop-off, you know, do you like chocolate or do you like vanilla better? Do you think you would rather have citrus or pomegranate? Or if there's someone I think might love everything about the nutrition, I'll put each of them in there. So if you haven't seen these yet, these are our ready-to-go packs. They retail at $35. You get 10 of them. So we get our 35% discount. And every time you order these, you guys, it's a tax write-off, because this is how we advertise our business. Because Arbonne does not want us making our own bags. So these are awesome. I highly recommend them. Now, if you're like, okay, well, I have tons of protein and I want to just bag them, go for it. Make sure you're doing it safe and sanitary and all that kind of stuff. But just go for it, just to get the product out there. And then of course I would put fizz sticks in there. So this is what it might look like when I bring it to a meeting. I'll put all this good stuff in here, and I'll bring it to a meeting. And the nice thing is this is also what I would take to a presentation to show off the RE9 Genius, that ASVP that we have. So it's super easy, because when you get it back, you clean it really good, make sure everything's good to go, and then you're good for that. Do you guys have questions about the gold bag at all?
No, I don't think. I have actually one question.
Yeah.
When I was printing them off, I don't know, is it just my printer, or like they print like all funky, like it's like cutting off half the page sometimes?
Oh, really?
Or is it just my printer? Like, is it just the way the paper's like being like,
well,
you know what I mean?
What I had to do was I had to put scale to fit in order to print them, like, so they'd actually all fit on.
Oh, like look nice and like straight.
Yeah.
Like mine's coming out like really crooked, you know?
Yeah. Try
like,
that, and if that doesn't work, then I'll try sending it in a different format to you, because it could be just because I'm sending it as a PDF.
Okay.
Why?
All right.
But otherwise, yeah, try scale to fit.
And where is it on my printer that I can like?
No, when you go to push the print button, you can push print, and then it'll say, you know, what are your settings? Yeah. Somewhere on there, mine says print to scale or scale to fit.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
He shrinks it down and gets it where it should be.
Okay, good.
So,
all right.
Yeah, good question. Any other questions? Marissa, do you have a question at all?
No, I don't think so. I just got the chocolate and vanilla single packs, so I'm excited to have them.
They're so awesome. They're literally the best thing ever. Okay, so I have this. Now, what am I going to do with it? So I'm going to call up somebody and I'm going to say, hey, look, I just started this gold bag system. I have this amazing product, the RE9 line. Would you try it for 3 days? If I brought it to you, would you try it for 3 days? that's the whole if I, would you verbiage that we talk about in GoPro. If you guys haven't read that book yet, I highly, highly recommend it. Of course, they're going to say yes, because who wouldn't say yes to that? So there's 2 ways of doing that. You can go and drop it off. I think, Ariane, you did that over the weekend, right?
Yep.
Go drop it off. And at your drop off, do not give it to them until they schedule a time and a date to meet with you. Because again, this is our baby. This is our money maker right here. Let's be honest. So I want to make sure that I'm getting that back and that it's on the schedule. Now, if they reschedule after that, that's fine, of course, unless you have to get it out. But what you could say is when you drop it off, I would pull it out. I would show them each step. Here's how it works. It's pump activated. I always show the eye cream. You use half of a pump and you use it on your ring fingers. And I always demonstrate that for people, just so that they kind of get the idea of what we're looking at. And then I say, okay, when would you be able, when could we meet? I want to get your feedback. I want to share with you, how we do this kind of thing. And then, of course, get that on the schedule right away. And then when you go to pick it up, so we're going to do this tomorrow at noon, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So when we go to pick it up, what we're going to do is get it, ask a bunch of questions, okay? Make sure you get it back and that everything is in it.
Yeah.
The papers, don't worry too much about. I mean, obviously we can always reprint that stuff. But, sometimes they spill on it and it is what it is. So just make sure that when you get ready to give it out again, that it's clean. So what we would do then at that one-on-one is you'd schedule typically about a half an hour. And I'm a talker, so mine usually go longer than that, but it depends on how many questions you ask. So we use the idea of FORD, so family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So those are kinds of questions you can ask someone. What is your family? Do you have any kids? Are you married? How long have you been married? Those kinds of things. Get to know them. Occupation, what do you do? Obviously, tell me more, how long have you been doing it? Do you like doing it? That kind of stuff. If you could change one thing about it, what would you change? Recreation, what does your family do for fun? Or what do you like to do in your free time? Because ultimately we're leading them to the fact that, a lot of people don't have the free time to do what they want to do. And then we show them that vehicle to possibly find a way to make that free time. And then, of course, dreams. So I like to say, let's have some fun for a second. If you could do anything, anything at all, you could travel anywhere, you could have your dream job, what would you dream of doing right now? If money was not an issue, time was not an issue. And then they tell you, okay, well, awesome. Is what you're doing right now, is that going to help you reach your dreams? And of course, most people are going to say no, right? I mean, that's kind of the world we live in. So, and that kind of leads into, awesome, let me tell you a little bit about what we have. There's no pressure. I thought of you because, and be honest with them, I thought of you for this business because you're a hard worker and I totally value how hard you're always working, or whatever it might be. And then you're going to go through this briefly. You're probably maybe going to spend 15 minutes on it, if that, because you want to spend most of your time talking about them. And then at the end, just kind of, where do you see yourself? This is I don't know if you can see that very well, but this is what we do. And you can share with them. We've got the preferred client membership. You've talked about what they thought about the product. So how can I be of service for you? What are our next steps? On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you see yourself? 1 being, thanks for the free coffee, or 10 being, I wish I would have heard about this business yesterday or 5 years ago. So that's a great question to ask. Any questions about that? Awesome.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, so if you haven't listened to, if you are on SoundCloud, make sure you're following ENVP Donna Johnson. On there from, I think, a couple months ago, I think it was last year sometime, Ariane, I just sent that to you today, is Mastering the One-on-One. That's an awesome call.
Okay.
There's also another call on there by Christy Dreiling. It is the Your Name List is Your Acres of Diamonds. So I'd highly, highly recommend listening to those too. Any questions about the gold bag, drop off, that kind of stuff?
Nope.
I don't think so. No, I'm good.
Awesome. So it's super easy. Brief.
Actually,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry. Actually, I forgot. I do have one.
Yeah.
So the girl that we're meeting tomorrow.
Yep.
I don't know if I made it super clear that to bring it back, you know? Like, how should I, like, word a message to her tonight?
I would just message her and say, hey, don't forget to bring that gold bag. I have it going out again on Tuesday.
Okay.
I want to make sure I get that back from you.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Great question. Yeah. Awesome. So in our last couple of minutes here, I'll just talk about real quick what I bring to groups and what that might look like for you. Marissa, I know you have a group coming up. Is it next weekend with Angela?
Yeah, this Sunday.
Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Yes, that'll be super awesome. So what I've been bringing to groups, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible because obviously with our business, we want to duplicate. So I will bring my little, where'd my folder go? I've got my little 3-ring binder over there. I've been dropping off a pamper kit, which is essentially all the items in the gold bag, and then I'll throw in a couple of my favorites. So like the unwind spray, I throw in the hair serum, and then a little bit of the CC cream. So whatever, I throw a couple of them in there because they're blendable, but you can literally throw in whatever you want. I'll throw in a success story and an is Arbonne for you. And I've been dropping this off with my local people probably about 3 to 5 days before they host for me. And this has been amazing because people get to their house and they're not going to cancel on you because you're going to say, well, they might call you and say, well, I've only got one person coming. Well, that's no problem. I have to pick up the pamper basket from you for my next hostess anyways. Even if only one person shows up, let's go just have a good time. You know what I mean? So I've been dropping that off. I bring the RE9 set, which like I said is all in the gold bag. I'll bring either the Awaken scrub or the body scrub that we have. This sea sword.
Will you put that in a little, like, how do you do that? How do you hand that
I
out?
just bring the whole thing. I just bring this whole thing and I'll just put it in a bag. But you do have to be kind of careful because the oils drip out sometimes. So I'll bring that for the hand massage before. And I try to make sure that I do get one hand of everybody and do that. Marissa, we did that at the first event you were at, I believe. So that's great. And then I'll bring my rags, and I only need one now for the mini facial if you are doing the mini facial. So one per person, and then I'll bring a couple extras for the sink when I do the hand. And then I bring the Arbonne Opportunity brochures, which are on the under business aids. If you go shopping, it's like $2.50 for 10 of them or something like that. It's awesome. The host planner, which I also put this, you guys, I forgot to tell you, I put this in the, if I don't get it to them earlier, I'll put this in their pamper basket and walk them through it and check in like regularly. The last thing I bring is just the success starts now. So this is about the Strong Start program. Not really super necessary at that first meeting, but I just bring it to have it basically. And again, these are all on the business aids. Under the shop when you're shopping. So I bring that. I bring either the hand cream. This is just the sample because I also can give these out as, thank you gifts for people who are ordering or however you want to do that. I think there's a couple pictures on Lisa's page about what those thank you gifts can look like. But these hydrating hand creams have been awesome for me because they're super easy.
What's little plastic bags that that little gift bag that you bought?
Yeah.
I mean, you put them in a little plastic wrap. Do you just get those from the dollar store? I have those. It's literally just, let me, you know what? I have one. Let me grab it really quick. Okay.
Yes, so this is typically what I use for like my gifts. And this is a men's example, but it's these plastic bags. I order online and I'm actually putting an order in this week. So if anybody wants to get a few of those, it's like literally they're the cheapest things I've ever bought in my life. I just drop samples in there, usually like the FC5 body wash and then a fizz stick and a fit chew and maybe a tea or a makeup primer or whatever I have on hand pretty much. And those are great as, let's say Joe had put in an order. I'd say, okay, Joe, you know, thank you so much for your order, and I would give him that.
Okay.
So I do bring those. That's a great question. Or obviously, like I said, too, I mean, these go for anybody. You could do those things for anybody. Let's see, what else am I forgetting? Oh, I bring my open dates calendar or just my regular calendar in my thing. With the pink I have highlighted, I have a couple of books, which are looking like this nowadays. If you guys haven't looked through them, they're super awesome. I bring I attach this to the email as well. This is the close sheet. So this is talking about the RE9 and it's talking about the 30 days to healthy living. So it's very simple to get all of the information. You don't have to worry about like, oh shoot, I forgot to get your birthday or whatever. It's all there. So everything you need is there. We have used this in the past where this is from the Changing Lives where we've used 3 ways to benefit. I haven't been using these at my last few, but I will bring one just in case somebody wants a little bit more detail about what's in each of those, because all of that detail is right here. So I like to keep it simple, and I will literally at the end of my presentation give them this and a book and a pen and say, have at it. So that's that. The other thing that was in that email is at the beginning, I'll give them this client care card. That way you can collect that before if you have time and take a quick glance at it and say, oh, you know, Angie, I noticed you were looking at health and wellness, you know, you were looking at the nutrition stuff. When we talk after, because I'm going to talk to each of you individually when we talk afterwards, I'd love to see how I can be of service or if you found anything of value. So those are super helpful. Keeping it simple. Last thing I bring is my note cards. And these, you guys, I will send these out because I think they're on Friends. I will send these out right away after we get off the call so that you have them. I just print them front and back because it's got that cool little Arbonne logo on the back. But again, don't worry about that. Like, just print it. You know? Print it so you have it, and then you can just run and just go. So that's it. And then I bring my cards. Lisa showed us this at one of her trainings. I've been bringing a brand new shaker cup, and I put, you can put anything in it that you want, but I've been putting 2 fizz sticks and 2 proteins in it, and then like maybe a fit chew or something if I have a couple on hand. And these are my incentives. So whoever hosts tonight or whoever signs up to host tonight, you will get this and one other product when you hold your event. And so that's been going really well. And then I'll just either give them something that I'll give this to them when they actually hold their event. And I'll give them, you know, the mascara or whatever I have on hand, or if they request something, I'll special order it too. So that's it. That's what I bring. And then I bring the nutrition ASVP so you can set that up. And Dixie cups, of course, because we need to sample them. My extra protein shaker cup, and then what I've been doing and what Lisa and everyone on her team has been doing is bringing either the chocolate, having both samples, obviously, because you have your ASVP, but I've pre-made these chocolate protein bars. So if I bring the chocolate protein bars, we'll sample the vanilla protein shake. And then, of course, if they want to try something else, if they want to try the other flavor, we can certainly do that. But just for keep it simple, let's do that. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. If you guys need, I'll send that that recipe too. But if you need it, it's on I believe it's the Changing Lives, any of the Changing Lives healthy living groups. They're pretty much on all of those. But I'll send that in that email to you afterwards. Any questions about that? I know we're running low on time here.
I think we're good.
Good? Awesome. Marissa, any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, if you guys do think of questions, definitely shoot me a text or shoot me an email. Like I said, I'll send an email here in just a second with a couple with the script that we use.
Okay.
There's a couple things in there that haven't been updated, but we can always go over that. Practice, practice, practice. I tell you what, I've had more events. I have had more events in the last 2 months and on the schedule for this month than I have in a long time. And it feels amazing. It feels absolutely amazing. So I'll tell you guys right now, we are on track to go. Our team is on track to go area qual this month, which is really, really, really exciting. So I tell you what, I am pushing and pushing and pushing. And of course, we are all in a volunteer business. So you guys do whatever it is that you want to do. But keep in mind that one-on-ones average about $150. And again, that's an average. And then groups average about $500. So I've had groups where I had $9 or $12, and I've had groups that had like $1,300 in sales. So think about that when you're setting your goals. It is the 15th. We do have a short month. However, I think it's definitely possible for both of you to not just blow past district manager qual, but to even get halfway there. So definitely let me know how I can be of assistance. Even from afar, Marissa, we're pretty good at that Zoom thing. So, and I've learned even a few more things since the last Zoom that we did. So definitely take a look at that. Let me know what your goals are as soon as you can. But like I said, we're at a really good stage. Our team is headed in the right direction, and I'm really excited because I'm getting out of you guys' way. I will no longer be sitting here at district manager holding you guys back. So I know you guys are both signed up for Vegas. Ryan and I have been looking at flights, but there is a possibility we might be driving. So let me know if you guys are interested. If you're interested in driving, we can certainly see if we can get like a van or something and share costs. But I know you'll both have somebody else jumping on too. And if you haven't, Marissa, definitely take a look at the new independent consultant bonus program. So that's super duper awesome. But with that, it's 9:29. I went 10 minutes over my goal time of 20 minutes, but I kept it under 30. So any last questions or thoughts or anything like that?
No, I think we're good.
Good. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for jumping on tonight. And like I said, if you do need anything at all, I'm here for you. And let's do this. Let's have an awesome rest of the month.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Have a great
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.